As everybody knows who has their head screwed on straight and is willing to speak the truth in their own heart, there's a lot of flattery, lies, deception, and just flat out sucking up going on at the RNC, the Republican National Convention. The same thing is going to happen over at the Democrat National Convention. All it is lies. All it is deception. All the people who ran against the person who is now looking to get the position of president, they're now holding hands with the president. They used to talk bad about him. They were trying to convince you that they are the best ones for the job and the other guy sucks. But now they're sucking up to Donald Trump. They're going to suck up to Joe Biden. That's what this is. That's what politics is. It's not about character. It's not about honesty. It's not about doing the right thing. It's about scoring points. It's about getting votes. It's about schmoozing people and really deceiving people, because that's what politics is. Now, before we get into what the RNC is really promoting, and I'm going to show you proof in a second, I want to read a tweet by Barack Obama and by Joe Biden just to show you the depth of the outright hypocrisy of this entire thing. The July 15th post from Barack Obama comes after the event with Trump, where supposedly, according to the official story, a .223 bullet grazed his right ear. President Biden is right. There is no place in America for this kind of violence. As a country, we may not agree on everything, but we should be able to agree on that. President Biden says, right after the incident on July 15th, I have been briefed on the shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania. I'm grateful to hear that he's safe and doing well. I'm praying for him and his family and for all those who are at the rally as we wait further information. Jill and I are grateful to the Secret Service for getting him to safety. There's no place for this kind of violence in America. We must unite as one nation to condemn it. There's no place for this kind of violence in America. That's what politics is. Politics is violence. The government is violence. It's about deception. Politics is the clever and deceptive art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering in order to dupe average people into accepting and even demanding the chains of their own enslavement. That's what politics is. So we're going to turn our attention to what the RNC really is, what the RNC is really all about. And I'm just going to give you a couple of quick cuts from this guy's speech. His name is Matthew Brooks. He's a Republican Jewish coalition chief executive. What do you think? Do you think this is about make America great again or make another nation great?
Am Yisrael High! Cheer if you support Israel! Let me hear you cheer if you support Israel! The American Jewish Israel. Israel. Pro-Israel, Jerusalem, Abraham Accords, Israel relationship, Israel needs with Israel, Israeli people, pro-Israel party. We will put a stop to the rising tide of anti-Semitism. American Jews, Jewish students, the Jewish community, Jewish vote, stand with Israel. Jews, Am Yisrael High!
So what is this all about? And I'm going to show you some context here. This was me removing all the places that he talked about Israel, Jews, anti-Semitism. But what is the RNC all about? Is it about make America great again, or is it about something else? And the crowd goes wild. The crowd backs this guy. They're A-okay with this. I'm going to play 1 or 2 minutes of this in context just to show you that this is how pedal to the metal these people are, not for America, but for Israel.
Hello, Milwaukee! Let me hear you cheer if you support Israel. Let me hear you cheer if you support Israel. Now, if someone tried that at the Democrats' convention, they'd be booed off the stage.
So, of course, automatically we've got the left versus right. Oh, man, you guys love the chosen people of God. Democrats, no. They're our enemies. This is what politics is about. It's about creating enemies. It's about causing division. It's about dehumanizing. It's about demoralizing people and getting them to vote for corrupt politicians.
But here at the Republican convention, we proudly and loudly stand with Israel. This election is a critical moment for the American Jewish community and for Israel. This is our chance to continue the incredible pro-Israel legacy of the most pro-Israel president in history, Donald J. Trump.
Okay, let's. What are we talking about here? What is this about? Is this in America? Where's the RNC taking place? Who are we really promoting?
President Trump, among his many accomplishments, many of which they said couldn't be done, but he did it. He moved the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. They said it couldn't be done, but he weakened the Iranian regime. They said it couldn't be done, but he delivered the historic Abraham Accords, bringing us closer to peace in the Middle East. With President Trump, we will repair and rebuild the U.S.-Israel relationship that has deteriorated after 4 disastrous years under President Biden. Now, today, 9 months after the historic Hamas attacks, shockingly, President Biden is still withholding critical arms that Israel needs to defend itself.
Critical arms that Israel needs to defend itself. Who's going to benefit from that? Are Americans going to benefit from that? Are Palestinians going to benefit from that? Will the slaughter continue? Will more Palestinian civilians end up dying as a result of this? Increase our power. What is this about? Is this make America great again? It sure looks like something different. And then he ends with this right here.
Am Yisrael High!
And Am Yisrael High means the people of Israel live. Now, as kind of a social experiment, I wanted to show you this speech by Laura Trump. And I'm thankful for the camera guys, because the camera guys pan out to the audience. And I just want to show you the very last part of this. We're going to watch this speech. But in the very last part of this, the cameraman focuses on this guy. Watch this guy's reaction after Laura Trump finishes her speech.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Almost prayerful. It's almost like this is a worship service in a church, and they're giving their hearts and souls to this candidate. This is the part of Laura Trump's speech where she focuses in on Donald Trump's reaction after the gunman did what he did on July 15th.
Maybe you got to see a side of Donald Trump on Saturday that you were not sure existed until you saw it with your own eyes. Martin Luther King Jr. once famously said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of convenience and comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." There's no.
Did you see that? Back the blue. The thin blue line of tyranny.
No doubt that Saturday was one of the most frightening moments of my father-in-law's life. Millimeters separated him from life and certain death.
That is what the official story is. That is, it looks like even CNN, ABC, CBS, Fox News, they've all agreed. The Republican Party, the Democrat Party, they all want you to believe that official story.
And yet, it was in the midst of it all, as he was jostled off stage by Secret Service, that he knew how defining that moment would be for our country. and he hoisted his fist in the air.
Here we go. Here we go. Fight, 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 fight. Look at their faces. Trump loves this. Yes. Propaganda works. I'm a marketing genius. This is exactly what we want. This is where we want the people. Look at this. I can't help but look at this crowd and think it's easier to deceive the masses than to convince them that they've been deceived. They have their hero. He was a hero before. Now he's a superhero. Can't touch Trump. He probably could go to Fifth Avenue right now with a gun and just do whatever he wanted to, and they would still vote for him. Donald Trump, as a matter of fact, he is so revered in the eyes of people who believe the official story and were encouraged and inspired by fight, fight with blood on the side of his face, that Donald Trump could probably make the order to send these people's families to the gallows, and they would continue to vote for him.
It was not just for the audience at the rally, not just for his supporters tuning in, but for all of America. And as a signal to the world that no matter what, America will always prevail. Though it's been strained and attacked, no enemy, no force, not even a bullet is strong enough to break our American grit and our American soul.
There you go. There you go.
We are the country whose founders gave their fortunes, freedom, and lives to pursue the dream of a free society. We are the country of Thomas Edison, Susan B. Anthony, Henry Ford, and Harriet Tubman. We are the country who fought and won 2 world wars.
We fought and won 2 world wars. Guess what? We didn't win. The Zio International banksters who funded both sides won. People engaged in the war, families who had their sons die in those wars, cities that were obliterated from those wars, those people who inhabited those cities and those people that lost their sons, they didn't win. They weren't the winners. They weren't the victors. Oh yeah, there's fancy memorials in Washington's District of Criminals. You got the Korean War Memorial, the Vietnam War Memorial, World War I, World War II. It's basically a dedication of death in Washington's District of Criminals. Why? Because of government. Problem, reaction, solution. They create the problem, wait for the fear-based reaction, step in to provide the pre-planned solution that they had waiting in the wings the entire time. When are we going to realize, when are we going to wake up and realize that the Republican National Convention, the Democrat National Convention, Team Left and Team Right are not on your side? They are here to cause us division. They are here to confuse us and demoralize us. The politicians are like, no, compromise your morals. That they might, if they were honest, this is what they would say. Compromise your morals and vote for me. And most people say, yes, master, I will do exactly what you say. And then condemn everybody else who goes, why are you voting for political, parasitic, banker-owned puppets? The same thing is going to happen this next 4 years. The national debt is going to rise. The dollar's value will be trashed. You'll have more laws at the end of it and less freedoms. Those are the 4 things that always happen in every regime, whether Republican or Democrat. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am stuck in the middle again.
And we are the country who always rises to meet the moment, no matter how insurmountable the task. And in that split second, on Saturday, Donald Trump reminded us all of that very history and who we are at our core as a nation. That is the Donald Trump that I know.
And when the people need a hero, we shall supply him.
He is an American who conquered the business world, an American who made himself a household name, an American who was beloved by politicians and fellow celebrities for decades until he ran for office with an R next to his name. An American whom even Barack Obama admits people consider the American dream.
And do you know that there are people out there who are for Donald Trump just because they perceive mainstream media and Hollywood and Democrats are against him? That's the only reason they're for him. Because you can't be... Are you really for him for red flag laws? For bump stock bans? For I like take the guns first, due process second? For destroying the value of the dollar? For giving more power to the Federal Reserve? For increasing the national debt? For $6.2 trillion in stimulus, most of which went to the big pharma industrial complex and not to Americans it was supposed to help? Are you really for that guy who filled the swamp instead of draining it? He did the exact opposite of what he said he would do. Are you really for the guy who said he would lock up Hillary Clinton but didn't? Who got a big boost from Julian Assange and WikiLeaks but then said, I don't even know anything about it. I don't know. Are you really for that kind of guy who lies that much? And I could say the same on the other end. Are you really for Joe Biden when you know what kind of cruddy individual he is? How many pies he's had his fingers in? How many bad things he's done? You're really for that guy?
And instead of sailing off into the sunset after an illustrious real estate and
Come on, people. What is this? What is this? Is that the church lady? It's like we live in a Saturday Night Live Twilight Zone skit.
Off into the sunset after an illustrious real estate and television career, he decided to give back. He decided to bring some of the things that had made him so successful in life to all of you.
That's what he's doing. When he became president, he decided to give back. He's not benefiting from this. He could have walked away. He could have rode off into the sunset and enjoyed the rest of his life as a billionaire.
In order to improve the lives of all Americans, black, white, brown, gay, straight, all Americans, because that's the man that Donald Trump is.
She says, I'm an American, I'm a mom, and I'm bringing up Donald Trump's grandbabies, and that's who I am, and that's who Donald Trump is. And then she leaves the stage, blows a kiss, and then we're going to hone in on this worshipful guy, the worshipful look on this guy's face.
Thank you, guys.
Look at that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please
I mean, look at
welcome
that.
back.
He is overcome with emotion and gratefulness. And,
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the chair.
Here, let's just look at it without sound. Here it is without sound. Love it. He says, I love it. Oh, I love it. It's easier to deceive the masses than to convince them that they've been deceived. And I am talking about on both sides of the political aisle. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. I really appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys liking the videos, and I appreciate you engaging under the videos. I will see you in the next one.